Hello. Okay, we're on air.
Good evening, everyone. Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Here.
Dr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Here.
Here.
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here. Sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on May 8th, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Thank you very much, Ms. Russo. Gallimore, do you want to begin with Mr. Hodgelick or list? Is Ms. Gallimore with us? Is anyone with us?
Hello,
from the,
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Let's go to the Department.
Good evening,
of
Mayor.
Public
This is
Safety.
Cavell. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Cavell? Hello, Cavell.
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you want to start with the bill list, or do you want to go to Mr. Hodgelick first?
I'd like to go to Mr. Hodgelick to present the audit.
Are you online with us, Mr. Hodgelick?
I believe so, sir. Can you hear me?
I believe so too.
All right, very good. All right.
How are you tonight? We have a new council person in about her third or fourth meeting, Clarabelle Cortez. And so there may be some procedural questions as you go, Mr. Hodgelick. Could you begin by telling us why you're here tonight, what your role is, and what we should be looking for?
Absolutely. What we're here to discuss this evening is the report on the township's financial statements for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2019. It's a requirement by statute that every local government has received an audit, an annual audit, and you happen to be one of the few towns that still in New Jersey has a fiscal year ending June 30th. So we're here just to present the information with respect to that audit. I'm happy to report that the township has received an unmodified opinion on its financial statements, which means that in our review, based on the concept of materiality, that what you're reporting is a fair representation of the supporting documentation that supports the financial statements. And other than that, the township had a decent year. Fund balance increased to some degree, and we have no recommendations in terms of something that needs to have a corrective action plan reported to and by the governing body.
Thank you, Mr. Hodgelick. Does any member of the council have a specific question for Mr. Hodgelick with regard to the audit? Mr. Hodgelick, while you're with us tonight, let's take advantage of the opportunity to ask you what you are seeing around the state with the anticipated financial impact from the COVID situation upon towns like us.
Sure. Yeah, obviously, Mayor, there's a lot of fingers being crossed that, we'll be able to weather the storm. But right now, a lot of communities in New Jersey are actually still in the process of preparing their 2020 budgets. And they are seeing, obviously, a decline to some degree in their local revenues, whether, fees and permits, construction code applications, whatnot. And they're preparing their budgets with that in mind. Obviously, the key factor, and we're really not sure where it's going to come out at this point, is how property tax collections will fare, in the upcoming months. We actually had, obviously the governor extended the due date till June. And, obviously in terms of public policy, it makes sense. People can't pay, then, why penalize them? But at some point, property tax will need to be paid. And, we just don't know where it's going to go at this point, but obviously everyone's hopeful. To the extent that there is going to be some, revenue relief from the federal government to go through the state down to you local folks. We're hoping for that, but obviously we haven't seen anything of that at this point.
Mr. Hodgley, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but perhaps is there a bill before the legislature at this point that would give towns the option to take out a form of COVID bond?
Mayor, I've heard that being discussed. I haven't seen it actually, seen the legislation yet. I may have missed it, but I've heard that discussion, no doubt. Yes.
No, that's all I've heard as well is the discussion. I haven't seen specifics about it. Mr. Gordon, have you heard anything further?
Let me unmute myself first. Well, Mayor, like Mr. Hodgley and yourself, I've seen talk. I've seen newspaper articles. I have not seen any proposed legislation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Now, on this topic, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Hodgley?
Yes, Mayor, I do.
Council President?
I don't know if you can answer this question at this point, but based on your discussions around with other towns, do you have any order of magnitude what you feel? I know that right now the state aid is probably not going to be released. Do you have any guideline order of magnitude of what the percentage might be of reduced revenues that we might see?
One of the this was just last week. I was doing involved in a little bit of an analysis, and one of the larger towns in Middlesex County actually saw about a 10% fall off in property tax collections between period in 19 versus 2020. But that's really in terms of the hard data. That's basically all I've really seen at this point, Council President.
Okay.
Thank you, Council President. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I just have.
Now, Mr. Hodgley, I only got part of that question, sir.
Yeah, Mac, it's Carlo. I'm just wondering,
yes,
how are we going to certify this with our signatures and everything? Normally, we'll do that at this meeting. Lisa, are you sending something out to us, or how's it going to work this year?
We're all going to have to meet somewhere, or I'll come to you for the signatures.
Okay. And when do you need that by?
Maybe
next Monday night would be great.
Maybe, Lisa, we can, if it's easy, I'm not going to put anybody out. If at some time during the week from dispatch, there are either police officers or park rangers that may be able to swing by and get our signatures, maybe we could do it that way so that everybody doesn't have to come to the building. Is that possible?
I don't mind coming to you. I could do that.
Okay,
Whatever you.
Lisa. Okay. I'm in Belarus right now. No, that's just a joke. I'm in North Brunswick.
Mayor,
Anything else from Mr. Hodgley? Yes.
Ron, is DocuSign a valid way of doing it?
I don't.
Councilman Andrews, I don't believe that they're accepting electronic signatures on the certifications regarding audits yet. They should be, but I haven't seen anything to say that they're willing to.
Yeah, we've been using DocuSign. Okay.
Lisa, check with Councilwoman Cortez. She began training for the New York Marathon yesterday, so maybe while she's running around the town, she can just stop by each of our houses.
I will reach out to everyone in the morning.
Mr. Hodgley, we appreciate you being here with us this evening. Do you have anything before you go that you want to tell us otherwise?
Oh, just great to see everyone. Stay well. Thank you.
You too, Andy. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Ms. Gallimore, you're able to come back and do the list with us now?
Yes, Mayor. So the next item would be the bill list. Does anyone have any questions on the bill list? Okay, I believe that's all for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Gallimore. If you'll stick around for just a couple more minutes, and
Sure.
we'll see if anything else comes up, okay?
Okay, Mayor.
Is Director McCormick with us?
I'm here, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Director. Good to see you tonight.
Okay. My first item is authorizing the acceptance, State of New Jersey Law and Public Safety Division of Criminal Justice Safe and Secure Grant. That's a $60,000 grant that is we get just about every year, and that's to offset the salaries of 2 officers, and it's for promoting community policing.
Any questions on that from any member of the council? Okay, sir.
Second item is authorizing the sale of abandoned vehicles for just the benefit of Ms. Cortez. This is abandoned vehicles that we either tow or take in, and people basically abandon them and they're left at the tow yard. So about quarterly, we have an auction and we sell off those abandoned vehicles.
Hey, Kenny, I just have one quick question on that. Because everything that's going on, I would seem that you wouldn't have the same amount of people coming to bid on these vehicles. Am I incorrect?
Yeah, you're probably correct. I don't have a lot to do with the actual hands-on, process that goes on. I just know that we advertise it, and then there's solicitation of bids that are put in. But I'm not sure. I'm sure it's down.
Okay.
Thank you,
That's all I
Councilman
have.
Davis.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Mr. Gordon, are you raising your finger for a reason?
I was, Mayor, and the number of vehicles that are on.
Can anybody hear Ron?
No.
Ron got frozen. I think some used car dealer in Brooklyn probably stepped on him there. What were you going to say, Mr. Gordon?
I'll try again, Mayor. I'm having some issues. And the number of vehicles that are on the abandoned vehicle list is significantly reduced as well. But that's all that I have. Thank you.
Does any member of the council think Mr. Gordon actually has a full suit on, or is he wearing shorts as with the rest of his suit tonight?
Shorts.
I'll fess up. I'm wearing.
I'm guessing shorts.
I got jeans on.
As long as they're not Carlos shorts.
That's hurtful.
Thank you, Director Director McCormick. Mr. Ritz, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Mayor, Howe, and Council.
Sir, go right ahead.
Okay, several items on the agenda this evening. The first is the release of a performance bond for Shiv Kishan LLC. This is for 2 single-family homes that were constructed on Sutter Avenue off of Route 27. Those homes have been sold, and so we are releasing those bonds. The second item this evening is an award of a contract for the remediation for the road restoration on the Roosevelt Avenue extension. We had a number of bid openings since the last meeting, and these will correspond with several other items that are on the agenda tonight. So item 3 is the award of our 2020 road program. This is the return of P&A contractors who for a long time did road work within the town. Oh, it's been several years. They once again earned the contract of approximately $4.3 million. Good numbers and essentially right within our estimates. The item 4 is the corresponding adjustment to our contract with CME to provide contract administration for the 2020 road program. Item 6, I'm actually going to do is the award of the contract for the Hulda Farm Walking Trail. This is a contract of approximately $228,000. That also came in right on target in terms of our estimates. And I would say about 85% of that contract is going to be covered by some existing grant money. And so through capital, we'll only be covering a small percentage of that contract. And then item 5, again, is the corresponding adjustment to the CME contract for contract administration. So a lot of positive work in terms of our infrastructure improvements. And we're going to try to get P&A in soon on a pre-construction meeting. We'd like them to get started as soon as possible so that we can plan for the work to both Roosevelt Avenue and Raider Road, which has to be done this summer prior to the start of school, which is happening before Labor Day, I think, for the first time in the town's history. So we'll be scheduling that pre-con as soon as this contract is approved and authorized. Does anybody have any question on any of those items? Okay, folks, have a good night. Thank you.
Michael,
Well, Councilman Davis's lips are moving.
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Michael, I know that had to be done before school started, but we now know that school will not be starting before June. So if this contract is approved in it and everything, are we better off, and can they get started on it instead of waiting until, what is it, July, you were saying? Or
Absolutely, that's our goal. So one of the advantages, as it were, of the contract going to P&A and alternating with our current vendor, Lucas, is that P&A has no existing work in town. So as soon as we can get this approved next week, and then we can execute the contracts with the contractor, we're hoping to get them in. And you're right, if we can get them in June, typically a few weeks earlier than we would have if school was just in session. So that'll help offset the pre-Labor Day school starts.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
You're welcome. Thanks, everybody.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Ritz. We appreciate it. Ms. Hogan?
Thank you, Mayor. I have 5 items on for consideration tonight. The first is authorizing a credit to 2 township residents for their water sewer account. The first is a leak that occurred outside of the sewer system. And the second is a payment for a 11,000 gallon pool that was repaired. The second item that I have on tonight is just revisiting our new website design. And we had awarded this back in March for a bid that was out in January to the lowest responsible vendor, determined by the evaluation committee. And subsequent to that, we had worked with legal counsel and were unable to get a contract executed with that vendor. So we have gone back to the second bidder that the committee had recommended. And so this resolution would be to go to the second bidder, which I believe is about 20,000 over the original bid, but was responsive. And they were, Craig did meet with them, and they are willing to still meet the same timeline of September 1st that we were targeting with the go live date for our new municipal website. If anybody has any questions on that. The third item was revisiting the change in scope with T&M Associates for the meter replacement program. This was, I believe, a $77,000 contract adjustment. Subsequent to that, we've had a water sewer committee meeting, and T&M has provided additional information. And so that's on for consideration as well. The $77,000 increase, again, with information that they've provided as to, issues that have come up with the meter replacement program. And items 4 and 5 are the water and sewer ordinance amendment, specifically our current ordinance, the rate structure sunsets at the end of June of this year. So we had to address what the rates will be starting July 1. So that's addressed in this ordinance for both water and sewer, as well as the committee has been discussing the idea of going to monthly billing and offering that to the residents, monthly bills, and as well as changing out the rate and how it's billed. And so I'll leave that with Ralph also as a discussion of, you know, where the committee falls with that. And on the line tonight, we also have T&M, Steve Bonk, that can assist us with any questions that you might have. But overall, it's a 2% increase over the rates from the prior year, and then a 3.5 and a 3.5 for fiscal year 22 and 23. So I turn that over if anybody has any questions on any of those items.
Anything else, Ms. Proban?
No, that was it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Justine. We appreciate it. Council President?
Thank you, Mayor. There's a resolution on this evening for a program that the State Board of Public Utilities has. It's the Direct Install program. So this resolution is to make application to participate in the program. The program, basically, there are companies that get certified by the BPU in the state for various counties. So the one for our county is Tri-State Light and Energy. So there's an application for us to file, which is a good program. What they do is they do an energy audit for a multitude of things. They can, for all kinds of things that can basically save energy in the town, lighting, HVAC equipment, variable frequency drives, things as such. So they do the audit. That doesn't cost us anything. And then they come up with a list of action items. And each one of the action items, actually 70% of the cost of it gets covered by the program. So basically, we get the benefit of only having to pay 30% of those costs of what they come up with. So it's a good program for us. It's a good way for us to. We've done this before, and I think one good candidate we're going to find is to change all our lighting to LED lighting from the current PH that we have. I think that'll save us a lot of money, but. They'll come up with an action item list, and from there, if we decide to move forward, they would then arrange the installation, and then they'll confirm the installation, certify the program, and then we get covered. We get paid for 70% of the cost.
Any other questions on for the council president? Lisa?
Okay, this evening I have 2 items on, both minutes from a regular council meeting of May 4th and a special council meeting of April 27th. If there's any corrections or revisions. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there anyone here tonight that'd like to be heard in public hearing? If you want to be heard, just unmute the mic and speak up at this point. Is there a motion then to close the public hearing?
So moved, Davis.
Second, Socia.
Just making sure there's nobody who wants to be heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion to adjourn our meeting this evening?
So
Moved.
Second?
Second, Andrews.
Everybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody have a really nice night, and thank you so much.
Mayor,
Thank
we
you.
have a meeting to adopt the bill list too.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez,
Here.
Dr. Lopez,
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino,
Here.
Mr. Davis,
Here.
Mr. Socio,
Here.
Mr. Andrews,
Here.
Mayor Womack.
Here, sunshine notice.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on May 8th, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council holds regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Is that the only one item on the agenda, Lisa, is to adopt the bill list?
Yes, it is. That's resolution number 145-5.20.
Is there a motion to adopt that resolution?
So moved, Davis.
Second, Socia.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Is there anybody who wants to be heard in public hearing? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second, Andrews.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion to adjourn this bill list meeting?
So moved, Socia.
Second,
Second, Cortez.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, everybody have a real nice night this time, okay? Have a good one.
All right.